Hey everybody. Had a little mic trouble on this one. Sound quality is not going to be up to usual standard. Sorry. Alright. What's the name of the overplayed song that I'm going to have to deal with for a year going to be this time? That's nice. That goes down a lot better than when I try and do that with hard alcohol. Because I'm too lazy to fill a bottle with just something like water. Hey, everybody! I'm not drunk, I swear. But yes, the trailer for Frozen 2 has landed. And look, the track record right now for animated sequels, at least from where I sit, is not great as far as recent memory goes, particularly when it is coming to things coming out of the House of Mouse. Now, how much you want to count Incredibles 2, that depends. I mean, it's Pixar, which is owned by Disney, but that is a different creative team than Disney Animation proper. Now, Disney Animation proper did give us Wreck-It Ralph 2, which I did not care for and have been thinking less and less and less of as time has gone on. So, I'm not thrilled at the prospect of a new sequel from Disney's in-house animation team, especially when they were doing so well with brand new properties up to this point. So I'm inherently going to be a little bit gun-shy when it comes to this entire prospect. And when I looked at the trailer for the first time, I was kind of expecting to see something along the lines of the trailer for the original, which actually weren't that good, the initial trailers. There was a big focus on Olaf. That's not to say I expected Olaf to be front and center, but I expected it to be that kind of, you know, little continuous scene that's probably not even in the movie. We're just, you know, it's just something we put together for marketing. And it's not that. What we got, I would say, is probably definitely all stuff from the film. The last shot was the only one that made me go, maybe not. But the rest of it is like, yeah, no, that tracks, that reads. No dialogue, just moments, music, some moments longer, some moments shorter, glimpses of the characters we know, couple of very quick shots of a couple of new characters who I'm not even going to speculate who they are in terms of, you know, connections to everything going on and whatnot. But when I watched it for the first time, I thought, you know, that's not bad. Then I watched it again and started actually picking at it and found myself going, because my brain did that thing that my brain does, which is to take whatever information it is that I have at my disposal and then try and figure out all the ways that this might go wrong. My brain, I tell you. Okay. So, we start out with the rather extended thing of Elsa trying to basically run into the ocean. Now, this is both a good and a bad scene for the purposes of a trailer, I think. I think it's good insofar as her immediate goal and what she's doing is clear, and it does not require the context of why she's doing this for us to get exactly what it is she's trying to accomplish right now. And so it works as in terms of a build. There's a certain sense of danger when the ice breaks up and she's further out. You do get a sense of, oh geez. So on that level it works. But on second viewing it really does kind of make me go, wait a minute. And again, maybe with the context of the film and knowing why she's doing this, it'll work better. But as a piece of marketing, it doesn't hold up to a lot of scrutiny because without additional information, I'm forced to start asking questions such as, how is what she's doing here or what she's trying to do here any harder than what we already saw her doing in the previous movie? What I mean by that is this is the sort of scene that would have worked really well in isolation as a piece of promo material if she had ended the previous film either still not quite in control of her powers, of having like only accomplished so much with her powers. And if this was a demonstration of like, oh, she couldn't do that last time, but everything we see her do here completely fits with what we've already seen her do, and at the scale we've already seen her do it. I mean, let's not forget, the woman built an ice palace, and she froze it wasn't even a lake. It was like an inlet or a lock. I don't know what it was, but she froze the whole dang thing solid. So the idea of running on the ocean makes me go, okay, that's not any harder than what you've already been doing. So then I'm left kind of needing the thing that this lacks, which is why. And in the context of the film, that's going to be what makes or breaks a scene like that, because in and of itself, which is how it's being used as a piece of marketing, yeah, it doesn't quite work. And we've got, you know, shots of the various characters. We've got a fairly somber tone on this. It's not especially triumphant. We don't, the opening stuff with Elsa doesn't climax with her accomplishing whatever it is she's trying to do. It climaxes with her appearing to fail. And there's a surprisingly, for lack of a better comparison, Empire Strikes Back kind of tone to this. It has that feel of like the first Age of Ultron trailer, where it's like, yeah, last time was fun, things are serious this time. Which again strikes me as a little odd, because while I do like the original Frozen a lot and it is a lot of fun, it also deals with some heavy stuff. It's more than light fluff. So that tone I find interesting, but I also have to wonder, is that your best angle? Then again, maybe it's just because the last taste people had of Frozen was the Olaf's adventure holiday thing that they very ill-advisedly slapped in front of Coco. And I don't know if I talked about that when I did my review of Coco. It's fine as a piece of media, but it's very obvious that it was made to be a half-hour TV special, but they stuck it at the front of a movie to turn an hour and 40-minute experience into a 2-hour one for a film aimed at youngish kids. That was just dumb, and a lot of people resented it. So maybe that's why they decided to move away from the more whimsical thing, because that one was steeped in the whimsical end of Frozen, and they want to remind people of the heavier, more emotional stuff. Again, fairly context-free. And there are some interesting little moments. I like the emphasis on fall imagery of the autumn season, of the colored leaves and, you know, sort of falling. I mean, autumn's my favorite season anyway, so I'm always kind of gonna be partial to that. So I may just be an easy target for that, but that did intrigue me. I kind of like the last shot that basically Anna doesn't even hesitate to draw Kristoff's sword and just swing it. It's basically like, it's as if he was holding her purse. He's just holding the sword for her until she decides to need it. That was kind of interesting. It was probably a good idea to musically lean on the sort of more chanting kind of stuff that was used for the opening and closing parts of the film, because, and this, I will be curious to see how they try and traverse this possible pitfall. I don't know how much people realize the success of Let It Go as a song and a phenomenon contributed to the success of Frozen as a film. Now, I don't want to undermine Frozen as a film. Frozen does work as a film, and it's not successful because of that song. But that song and its ubiquity at the time really did help thrust the film into the zeitgeist, I think, more than it would have been otherwise. I think it was always going to be a good film. You know, you remove that song, it's still a good film. It's still got good characters with good chemistry and interesting dynamics and a great conclusion. But you remove that song and it doesn't quite have that little extra oomph to it. And I suspect that the makers of this are probably aware of that. And so they're left with one of two options. And I don't know which they'll go with for the film itself, but for the purposes of marketing, they made the right one. And what those two options are is either try and capture that again with a new song to basically be the new Let It Go, or to not even bother trying to have a song of the same feel or vibe or scale because they know they'll never match it. Now, there's risk-reward either way. If they make a new quote-unquote Let It Go, even if it doesn't get, like, say, the radio play that Let It Go did, within the context of the movie, that will be a big payoff because it will remind everybody of, you know, that great moment from the previous film, and with something new that is reminiscent and possibly even tops it. That's huge reward. But if they swing and miss, if they come out with a song that's very clearly trying to be the new Let It Go and it doesn't quite work, and it's very clear that it's just not going to get there, that's painful. And regardless of which option they go with, and the other one being like to not even try, and to do that means your other stuff's got to be really solid, and some people are going to go, yeah, there really wasn't a song to match Let It Go, though, and like that's just going to happen. So there's risk either way, but regardless of what decision they made for the film itself, it was the correct decision to not have any of the characters singing in the trailer, because that really would have begged the comparison to Let It Go. So at the end of the day, I'm a little bit mixed on this trailer. It's better and it shows more potential, I think specifically in interesting ways than I was expecting. Because the thing is, I think back on the two most recent, at least as of this recording, most recent animated sequels to come out, which were Incredibles 2 and Wreck-It Ralph 2, a big part of the thing with both of those is I saw the trailers and went, oh crap. In both cases, I saw big red flags. I don't see big red flags here. I can still find stuff to be like, that might be a point where it goes off the rails, because that's just what I do. But I'm not seeing any massive glaring red flags this time, and I did with those other two. So with that in mind, and just the fact that the trailer didn't sink me, it didn't give me that, oh god, this is gonna suck, isn't it, feeling that I had with just based off the trailers of Incredibles 2 and Wreck-It Ralph 2, both of which were films I was disappointed by, and it appears to be more so than other people were, but there you go. So the impression I'm ultimately left with by this trailer is, okay, maybe. And given the heights that previous film hit, that's pretty solid for a first impression. So Frozen 2, first trailer, you've seen it, what'd you think about it? Whatever your thoughts are, drop something down in the comments. Let's talk about it. A whole bunch of stuff to do because there's buttons and links. You can like and subscribe. You can support me on Patreon. That'd be awesome. Plus there's other links to check out besides other stuff I do, social media, blah, 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 blah. Look down in the description to see all that stuff, or don't. Because, you know what, at the end of the day, you're the council, and me, I'm just running the meetings. And until next time, this council is adjourned.